Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer Hensley and this is for English 133, week 13 assignment based upon the essay of Native Americans and the ritual healing and why it's important. Native American ritual healing may not be considered ethical or even practical for someone who is not Native American, but to them it is essential in the path of healing for whatever it is that they may be healing. In the film Smoke Signals, Powwow Highway, Older Than America, and the novel Ceremony, written by Leslie Marmon Silko, we see how the path of ritual healing is essential for the Native Americans. In the film Smoke Signals, Thomas follows traditional Native American ways of telling stories for ways of healing. The Native Americans' history is actually passed down through generations by storytelling, so Thomas's character is essential in the movie to show how they heal through the ritual of stories. Victor's father has abandoned both him and his mother when Victor was at a young age, so Victor holds a lot of resentment and hurt towards his father for leaving him and his mother. Victor learns one day, he gets a phone call from his father's neighbor that his father has passed away. Victor does not have the funds to travel to go to where his father was living and had passed away, but Thomas offers to put up the money for Victor to go visit where his father lived. The only condition is that Thomas has to go along with Victor in order to give him the money. Victor gets really annoyed with Thomas throughout the trip. He tells constant storytelling that just gets on Victor's nerves, and just his traditionalism of him still having the long braids and the long traditional Native American Indian hair. Thomas brings up stories to remind Victor of his father, which Victor does not like because, one, he feels that his father left at such a long time ago that how does Thomas even remember these stories or even if they are true. After being there and visiting where his father had lived and died, Victor begins to finally understand his father and his life decisions. Thomas's character was designed by the filmmakers to guide Victor to a path of self-healing via ritual, that being his storytelling. In the film Powwow Highway, we experience many different examples of how rituals are an important way of healing. The two main characters in this film are Buddy and Filbert. They are two Native Americans from the Montana area, northern Cheyenne, I think. They travel to New Mexico to save Buddy's sister, who has been imprisoned because she was framed by crooked cops. Filbert is guided along the way by his spiritual visions, and Filbert is guided along their journey to the Black Hills, which is in South Dakota, and was actually at one time Native American territory, but was taken back by the U.S. government. And while at the Black Hills, Filbert actually went there, but did not tell Buddy that they were going. Buddy had fallen asleep. While in the Black Hills, Filbert climbed the mountain to the top, and just really realized the beauty of the Black Hills, and he leaves his Hershey bar wrapper as an offering back to the land, which is a ritual for the Native Americans. And in the third film, Older Than America, we see a lot of spiritual ritual healing. The character Rain Lightning, she experiences visions of a young Indian man who it's actually kind of scaring her because her mother is in a mental hospital and has been there for a long time. The man actually turns out to be her deceased uncle, which is her mother's brother. And throughout the film, she discovers years of corruption and abuse within the local church and within her own family that happened on the local boarding school that's on their reservation. It turns out that her fiance's father is actually a medicine man and is willing to help her with her spiritual healing and to really find out who this man is that she keeps having sacred visions of. And to do this, they do the ritual of a sweat lodge, which is where the medicine man conducts it, and they pray for rain to really find out who this man is and see how she can actually help herself and figure out what's going on. And during the sweat lodge, she experienced her uncle, and he actually came and was able to speak with her and help her heal herself and to do what was best for her family and her mom. So that was a really good example of ritual healing. In the novel Ceremony by Leslie Marmon Silko, we are introduced to the main character Teo, who was returned from war. He is experiencing severe amounts of depression as repercussions of his traumatic experience during the war. He actually lost his cousin in the war and experienced and was there during his death. He really carries the guilt and the hurt surrounding his cousin's death and carries it around with him everywhere and lashes out because of it. We see Teo fail miserably with his emotions and life after returning from war. He doesn't do well in every day-to-day life and oftentimes has visions of the traumatic times he had during the war. He goes to a hospital for help, and the doctors don't find anything wrong with him. He finds that they cannot help him there, and the doctor's advice to him is that he leave the hospital and try to really help himself on the inside. But once he's out, it's really not helping him much. He's not finding any ways to help himself. He returns to where he and his deceased cousin Rocky grew up, which is at his aunt's house because his mother had left him as a baby. At his aunt's house is his very elderly grandmother, and he one day tells her that he's going to go back to the hospital because he's not getting any better being at home. But she suggests that he visit a medicine man, which is a ritual of a way of healing for them. And he finds that works for him, and that helps him with his ritual. The ritual helps him in his path of self-healing. Thank you.